Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're reviewing a 2024 Toyota Camry. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Brent Brown Toyota here in Orem, Utah for giving me some time with this Camry. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 27 around town and then 38 on the highway, with power outputs being 206 horsepower and then 186 pound-feet of torque. Now before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood itself, you guys can see tons of really cool looking body lines. And then popping down below, we have the Camry's signature headlights here, and then notice how it's blacked out off to the side, and then also in the center here as well. And putting it all together, the front end of the Camry looks pretty dang aggressive for a Camry. Coming on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 235/40/19 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels how they're completely blacked out. And then we've got a really cool look there with the fender, and then look at the body line that goes across right there. And then notice stuff like the mirror caps and the door handles are body painted, but then we've got chrome trim around the windows. And then here is your full side view with the Camry. Now taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function. We got the opening for the trunk as well as the Camry logo there on the back. And popping into said trunk, first off, you guys can see we've got pull tabs here so you can throw down the seats for even more storage. But yeah, the trunk itself is actually really big, and again, another benefit of the Camry. And when you're all done, just plop. Now here's a quick look at the tail lights, and you guys can see what the rest of the badge is here. And then you got the 4 exhaust tips. I guess there's an exhaust tip per cylinder. But putting it all together, let me know what you guys think about the looks here on this XSE. Now taking a look at the door panel, soft touch here at the top, and then you have this really nice trim that goes to the handle itself, and then more soft touch down below as well. And then taking a look at the seat itself, you guys can see perforated all down the center. And then legroom back here is really good. We have a storage pocket as well. We got some vents here in the center, and then headroom, pretty good. Now with the front door panel, again, soft touch here at the top, and you can see the trim that goes across, and then all of our soft touch down below. All the window controls are right here. We've got our mirror adjustments, and then blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Now taking a look at the seat itself, you can see again perforated all down the center portion. Power adjustments here on the side. And then you have stuff like your stability control that opens up the trunk. You've got your gas cap release, and you can see the trim right here as well. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, soft touch all around. We also have paddle shifters on the back for the 8-speed automatic. We have controls for our adaptive cruise control. We also have our lane keep assist, controls for the center stack, volume controls, voice command controls, lots of controls on the steering wheel. And then you've got your regular stocks here on the back. Now here's a quick look at the gauge cluster. I like the red theme there, it's pretty cool. Now we can see different bits of info there with the center screen with the Camry, which is pretty fun. And then we do have some different drive modes. It doesn't really do much, so that's the sport mode, for example. It gives you a little red bar. Eco mode gives you a little green bar, for example. And then in reverse, you do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. Resolution is pretty good. Now as for the infotainment screen, it looks like Toyota has not moved this over to the new unit for 24 quite yet, but this screen's still really good. It's got lots of physical buttons, if you like physical buttons, including for the volume and tuner controls, and it still responds really well. Like it's frankly easy to use. It's just not Toyota's newest unit. Soft touch here on the dash that goes across, and then you've got this cool trim right next to the vent that kind of loops around, and then you can see the stitching and soft touch right there. And then we have our climate controls, dual zone climate here with the Camry. And then you guys can see the little charging ports, wireless phone charging pad, and then we have our shifter for the 8-speed automatic transmission, some cup holder action right there. All of our drive modes, and then you've got our auto hold, parking brake behind that, and then you've got heated seats here for the front passengers. And then with the center console, it's actually pretty big. Got some nice padding here on the top. And then with the glove box, pretty good. And then up top we got our controls here for the panoramic sunroof. So here's a look at the window sticker. You guys can see 2024, got all the standard equipment. We do have a few options added to this. Total MSRP in this one is $37,187, and let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors, do a blind spot monitoring. Turn out the rest of the rear. And let us set off in the Camry. So I just reviewed the V6 the other day. This is obviously the 4-cylinder. I wanted to get a review, you know, pretty close with both of them, just so that I could see if the 4-cylinder's enough or if it's like 100% going to the V6. Now, obviously with the V6, you cannot get all-wheel drive, sadly. You can only get with a 4-cylinder, but you know, both of these cars that I've reviewed, I'm pretty sure front-wheel drive. Yeah, this one's front-wheel drive. The V6 is only front-wheel drive. Anyways, actually setting off, seat's really comfortable, and I'm also driving this back-to-back with a Corolla. So I can tell you that big difference. Like, this definitely feels more like luxury, big luxury sedan, right? Whereas the Corolla is kind of like your more zippy. I mean, again, it's a smaller car. It does feel smaller, and ride quality is not as good as this. This is really sharp with the ride quality. And also, I forgot to show the storage space right here under the wireless phone charging pad. Always a cool thing with the Camry. But yeah, ride quality is good. It's comfortable. And seems like it's enough power so far. And the other big difference between this and the Corolla is the Corolla has a CVT. This has a regular torque converter automatic, an 8-speed automatic. So that's a big difference. Yeah, and the ride's good overall. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like, if you were, you know, daily driver stuff, this definitely fits more on the luxury bill, right, compared to the Corolla. Yeah, I really do like how this drives. And the 4-cylinder seems like it's got enough torque. It's not like insane amounts, but get an acceleration up here and see how that all feels. Pretty dang good, actually. I'm impressed. I didn't think it was going to be that strong. It's really good, honestly. I think they've done a good job with that. So yeah, summing things up, the V6, obviously it's got more pep in its step, and especially on the highway, you're gonna feel, that's where you're gonna feel the biggest difference, because how much more horsepower the V6 has. But you know, I'm pleasantly surprised with how strong this 4-cylinder is, and the 8-speed automatic's great. It's really good overall. And so, you know, I do like this more than the Corolla that I just drove, but it's also like $7,000 more expensive. So, you know, I'd hope so, right? For $7,000 more. But regardless, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you like the Camry or the Corolla more. I kind of lean more towards the Camry, you know, a little bit more expensive. And then let me know if you think the V6 is a must-have. I think that if you're going to do mostly around town driving, not really. If you're going to do a lot more highway driving, then yeah, you probably want to go up to the V6 or the hybrid. But yeah, this 4-cylinder, it's impressive for such a big car. It performs better than I would expect. But let me know your thoughts.